Hey everybody, this is John with TPF, Trips, Places, and Fun. And hey, this is where we talk about travel news, vacation news, cruise news, breaking news, and Branson, Missouri news. But hey, this is going to be a wildly different video, and I really hope you can just lock in, cut out all the distractions for just a moment, and I think we're going to have a good time over the next several minutes. People wonder kind of what our history is, Amy and me, and right now Amy is out helping a friend of hers move, and isn't she just awesome? Isn't Amy the best? Hey, leave comments down below if you think Amy is the absolute best. She is the face of TPF. Today, you've got this face right here. But I want to talk about kind of our history and why we're even doing YouTube and where we've been. It's crazy. We've lived a crazy life, and man, we're living an amazing life now. But I want to just jump right into this kind of where do we come from? What's the story? And, many years ago, Amy and I met and started dating in Dayton, Ohio. From there, she was at Lee University and in Cleveland, Tennessee, and we ended up getting married while she was still in school, and had a little apartment there and started our wonderful life together right there at Lee. Well, from there, we moved to San Diego. I actually moved to San Diego a little bit ahead of her, and I was out there and somebody let me borrow their Jeep. So I'm in San Diego and going to the beach and having my Jeep. And the reason, we moved there is I was hired as a youth pastor in a church in Lakeside, California, kind of near El Cajon, if you know where that is. And then ultimately Amy joined me, and there we were in ministry, which has been our life really for the last almost 3 decades. Ministry has been our life. And so that's kind of where it all began, and had a growing youth ministry, and we're going for it. And I mean, just an intense focus on prayer and worship. And these services were just incredible. And the young people were just being rocked, by God, and legit stuff happening. And so we were having a great time there. Well, we were surprised when we were offered a position in Dallas, Texas. And boy, we were conflicted because we loved what was going on there in San Diego. And we didn't know, is this really what we're supposed to do? So long story short, we decided to make the leap, make the jump. We went from San Diego to Dallas. Now you got to understand, man, some of you, and I understand, some of you all are Christians, some of you not. That's cool. We can all get along together. But, I'm coming at it from a kind of God perspective. And there were so many crazy just God stories throughout this whole thing where just a miraculous stuff going on. And, so we were in the midst of that. And we're so excited that, God was really kind of charting the course for us. We moved to Dallas. And for me there, it wasn't a perfect fit by any means. And I knew that I was in Dallas to grow and to learn and to just kind of lay all my opinions, lay all my stuff aside, kind of die to all of that, and get into a place where it's like, I need to learn. I'm a young guy, and, it's easy to presume as a young person that you've got it all figured out, but we all know how that works. And, so I was learning in an environment that was a bit foreign to me. It was a very, very wealthy, large church, and, very kind of white collar. And, I wore my suits to service, and I sat up on the platform, and apparently my suits weren't good enough because they surprised me with a trip to Men's Warehouse and bought me all new suits that were nicely tailored. And so it was that kind of an expectation there in that church that you had to look the look. And, so I did. And so, but I learned a lot, grew a lot, and have just memories of just having to go through trials and having to humble myself and all sorts of things. We can get into that another day, but there was a lot that went on there. And then from there, really the adventure took off, and we moved to Manitou Springs, Colorado, which is it's right next door. I was going to say very near it. It basically is Colorado Springs, Colorado, and beautiful area. And that's where we started a church from scratch. Manitou Springs, and that's a city that for years had been known for, witchcraft and all that kind of stuff and that kind of a new age vibe. And so we were in that city, and we started from scratch and started in my basement, and then we grew to just a handful, and we got a little tiny 700 square foot little place. I thought it was going to be an office, but we ended up having meetings there, and then we grew, and we moved from there to another place and went to 2 services and grew and went from there to another place, a big place, bigger place, 20 some thousand square feet. And so that's where, and that's where we started really experiencing just a lot of the God stuff, I like to call it, just the miracles and all that, just really powerful things, the things that can't be explained. We would do something called prayer in the cave, and there was a cave system there. We would go into an actual cave, and we'd be in perfect darkness for 5 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours, and we would pray and we would worship, and God would do wonders. I was healed in the cave dramatically. Someone had a word from God that they saw someone cursing me, and they prayed against that, and a very debilitating ailment on my shoulder immediately healed, and so much. Hey, guess what? Also in that season, there's just too much to go to talk about in such a short video, but there was a kind of a Broadway company, traveling company that was in the area, and they were doing this documentary on Colorado Springs and on the kind of the social climate and spiritual climate and all this kind of stuff. And we were a part of that, and they would interview us, and it wasn't a Christian organization. They would be at our events, and they would see people being prayed for and all this kind of stuff. And then it was crazy. They took all of this stuff and put it in this amazing stage production. And there was actors playing me and actors playing people in my church, and and it was depicted like amazing. And we were in the cave, and they had scenes from the cave, and they showed my healing in the cave, and all that kind of stuff. And it was on stage, mostly liberal audiences, and it was on stage from coast to coast, New York City, Washington, D.C., where L.A., different places, and New York and Chicago, and so it was amazing, just this call that God had on our lives, and we were going for it, and it got the attention of this Broadway company, and they put it on stage, and so all of that was going on, and it was just a crazy, wild season. We were there for several years and saw so much happen. From there, here's another cool little God story. I felt impressed that we were supposed to move to Kansas City to be a part of the International House of Prayer, which is this large prayer ministry. And we didn't, we had just bought kind of Amy her dream house, and it overlooked Pikes Peak from our bedroom window, and it was amazing, and she loved it. It was a great neighborhood. And then all of a sudden, now we're supposed to leave, and Amy's like, and we're both like, how in the world are we going to make this happen? So Amy comes up with this idea. We're going to, and we'll see if it's God, we're going to go ahead and see if anyone in Kansas City might let us stay in their house, their vacant house, for free. And I'm like, who does that? And we're also going to put our house here in Colorado Springs, we lived in Colorado Springs, that house, dream house, on the market as a vacation rental. And so someone contacted us. I think we put an ad in the paper, or however we did it back then, or maybe it was Craigslist or whatever. And someone contacted us and said, yeah, this is amazing. I live in Texas. I got this vacant house. Why don't you stay in it? Not only that, but that person started donating to our ministry. So now we're staying in her house for free and actually being paid to stay in her house. And then we start renting out our house in Colorado as a vacation rental, making $1,400 a week. And so that's how we're supporting ourselves, in this new season of life in the, in the ministry. And they're at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City. So we had an amazing season there. I directed one of the 4 primary internships. From there, God was leading us to Detroit. So he miraculously sold our house in the midst of a recession in 2009, 8 and 9, no. Yeah, right in there, wherever that, something like that. And boy, it's a long time ago. And sold our house, full price. Boom, it was gone. People were amazed. Realtors couldn't believe it. It's like, this doesn't happen right now. And so we were out of there, moved to Detroit without even a place to live, without, in terms of, we didn't have a house, nothing. We just went in faith. And started Revival Church there. And so we had Revolution Church in Manitou Springs, and now we have Revival Church in Detroit, and had just a more amazing stuff was going on there. In Detroit, we were there for several years, and then all of a sudden we knew that it was time. It was time. It was time. And God allowed us to move. Really, we felt we could go anywhere. And we're so excited that we moved to Branson. So we moved to Branson. All of that ministry was done, at least for a season. We were taking a breath. And, I was still, I've been writing for Charisma Magazine, was one of the major Christian magazines, also the Stream Online, hundreds and hundreds of articles between the two. And so I'd continued doing that. In the meantime, throughout all of this, I'd written 10 books, and, and I also travel and minister, all over the place, and done lots of things like that. And I felt it was time to put all of that on hold. So Escape Code, we're now business people, right? So we opened Escape Code, not knowing exactly how that was going to go. We were taking my son to Tulsa to check out Oral Roberts University, just to see if he wanted to go there. He ended up going to Lee University, actually. But there we played an escape room. We're like, man, we can do this. And we felt God was on it. And so we did it. We opened up Escape Code here in Branson. And it was ranked as, back a few years ago, ranked as the 5th best escape room in the nation. And so God was blessing it, and we were just blown away, and so we've been building this business and growing it. Well, a few years ago, we're thinking, we love to travel, and, and YouTube is really growing, and let's do that. And so we actually started with a kids-focused channel, which is, you can still find it. It's called Toys of the Realm. Oh boy, get ready for some entertainment. And I encourage you to check it out and give you another side of us. And Toys of the Realm, we started with that, and also doing TPF at the same time. We couldn't do both because it was just too much. And so we gave up Toys of the Realm, and we've been doing TPF ever since. And we're having the time of our lives. Now you got to understand, everything we're doing here is about you. It's about community. It's about, making that connection. And we love that. I'm going to give a shout out, and probably in the next video, to our we got some new patrons. Thank you so much. Somebody made Amy and me a sling. Awesome. And we'll show you that in a future video. Just amazing. Thank you for that. It's incredible. It blew us away. And people, we love like pictures that are drawn and sent to us, and different things that are kind of handmade and sent to us. And we love that. So this channel now is all about you. And we hope, that, of course we're travel related, but we hope that you feel our heart in this. This is so important to us. And then we don't know what's coming next in terms of, ministry. Who knows? We could start something here in Branson. Could be probably not another church, but something, a prayer ministry or something like that. But, and there's so much, over the years. Amy's lost 7 babies to miscarriage, so that was a big dramatic part of our life. There's a lot of pain that happened, through the ministry, and a lot of joy, a lot of struggle, but ministry is not about us, it's about others, right? And so, we want to lay down our lives for others. It's kind of our heart. We want to do that. And we did that for so many years. But there's so much more to our story. We're blessed. We're thankful. I mean, we are just thankful. We're thankful for you. We're thankful for God. We're thankful for our family. We're kind of living this crazy dream. It's not that we're just living the dream. We're living a crazy dream. It's wild. It's different. There's twists and turns and all sorts of different things. Of course, the ability now for us to be cruising a lot. We're going on a cruise in a few weeks, and then we're going on another cruise 4 weeks after that. Just got off our Disney cruise, and then we're going on another cruise in August. And so we've got all of that going on to where we're able to really kind of broaden our channel, focus more on cruising and, travel in other areas. We just got back from St. Louis. We're going to do a video, free and cheap things to do in St. Louis. That's coming up soon. And so, lots of stuff going on. But we want you to know, Amy, Amy would say the same thing, that you really, you warm our hearts, and you're special. We feel it. When you leave your comments, it means a lot to us. It really does, you know, and we sit back and we just read those comments, and it really does. And I'll if I see a comment first, I'll kind of contact Amy, and I'm like, Amy, did you see this comment? This is just so awesome. And these people are just so amazing. And we love that. We love the comments and the different things that you all do. So that's our story in a really fast nutshell. I mean, crazy fast. You know, who knows what's happening with TPF. We would love to reach 100,000 in a couple of years. We would really love that. That's a huge goal. It's a crazy, ridiculous goal. I'd love to reach 1 million within 5 years. Again, crazy goal. I don't know, really, there's not too many travel channels that are hitting that. But we want to continue to learn, continue to grow. Your feedback is important to us. But that's kind of where we are in terms of ministry. Could there be something coming here in Branson? Could be. Who knows? But whatever the good Lord wants, right? So, hey, leave comments on this video. You know, what's your story? Where are you coming from? You know, and I really do, and I know we don't go this angle very often, hardly ever, kind of in our videos, but I do want you to know that we pray that God just wildly shows up in your life and just stuns you, where you can just have just the shock and awe of his arrival on the scene, and where you're just blown away, where he's not some concept in the clouds, but he's real, and you sit back, you're like, I just can't, it's impossible what just happened. It has to be God. We pray that stuff happens in your life. I pray that you're encouraged, and I want you to know that you really are. You are loved. You are special. You are important. You're here on the earth for a very important reason, and I just want you to be encouraged in that. All right, that's it, everybody. There's our travel news of the day. We've traveled a lot over the years, but we love what we're doing in Branson. We're going to stick around here for a while. And hey, more Branson videos coming. I still have more Disney videos Disney cruise videos that I haven't uploaded yet. Those are coming. I haven't even edited them yet. They're coming. So a lot is on the way. All right, that's it, everybody. Safe travels, everyone.